once again, ask Member Tertiary to breathe a word of prayer for us.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here today to do the nation's business, we ask for your guidance. We ask that you guide our thoughts, guide our actions, and at all times ensure that the focus of the meeting is on the continued sustainable growth and development of our nation, that all Jamaicans can thrive in prosperity. Amen.
Thank you very much. At this time, are there any apologies for absence? If there is none, we move straight into the business of the day. Let me welcome both Madam Mrs. Rochester and Mrs. Scott Blair, both from the CDF department agency, as it is, to be here. They are here early once more, and that they are here to conduct the affairs of the 63 constituencies across this country. Once again, Madam, both, let me say how welcome we are to have you here with us this morning again. At this time, we'll ask for the confirmation of the last minute, held on February 6, 2024. Moved by Member Denise Daly, seconded by Member Tertiary. I take it that the minute was already being read. At this time, we will now have the reviewing of proposed constituency projects.
Through the chair, members, today's meeting was called solely for the purpose of administrative assistance. What you find is that because we don't have a rollover system at the beginning of the financial year, persons are not paid in April, so they'll be paid in April and May. However, if we don't have a timely meeting in May, what happens is that they miss that cycle of May. So we have to meet the first week of May to send the projects to SDC to be financed. So today we're only approving administrative assistance. We will have our next meeting, and I will announce the date of the next meeting so that we can approve our education and those projects going forward.
So members, be not dismayed, be confused. It has been clarified as is. And so we move right along.
I just want to find out in terms of, I was told that there is no time limit in the standing order in regards to this committee when it will fall through. I do not know if there's any clarity the clerk would want to share, or it is just left open.
The standing order, the standing order, the blue book here is what guides us, and it speaks not of the time when the meeting can or will fall through. And so we have to take it as is. No. Until it has been amended, we are not at liberty to change.
So it would have been to the chairman's discretion or the committee?
It is always going to be that at the time we set the meeting for a specific time to start, and we normally do a 1 hour. So within the 1 hour, if we don't see the movement of members coming in for a meeting to have a quorum, then at that point it is the duty of the committee or the chairman, who must be present, or anybody, to call at the meeting.
Okay, what I'm so concerned is that when you are coming to a meeting that's supposed to end within a specific period, you would have gotten some guidelines that if you see 12:30, don't bother come. And probably that is what is causing some of the difficulties, because probably you still have persons coming, but they feel that if there is no quorum.
Well, you know, member, with all due respect, we went into a contract with the members of our constituency that they will elect us and we will represent. And so the onus is on us at all times. And as my...
No, Chairman, just in terms of clarity, I'm just saying the procedures that is used to hold the meetings, it has nothing to do with the responsibilities of each individual. I just want that clarity so that if I am coming and it reach 10 to 1 o'clock, I would still proceed and do not take it for granted that it would have fallen through, because...
And so it is a duty of that person to make sure that they get, even though they are already late, to get here just in case.
In case. But I'm telling you, going forward and going into any kind of deliberation in terms of our, what you would call it now, our conferences that we need to have the discussions. Retreats. We really need to look at that, because over the period you're a councillor, you know that after certain hours, and if the quorum is not there, the law speaks to it. But you said nothing is in this book.
No,
but we need to set some guidelines.
You see?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I mean, since the issue was raised, I believe that we could proceed with the meeting, considering the time, but also to note that that the simpler solution, I believe, would be just before members just to call. That way the Secretariat will, or Madam Clerk would have an idea to say, well, who is running late, who is apologizing,
exactly.
Who can't make it as well. So that might just be
an
easier way to do from a member's perspective.
That is the right thing to do. Member Robinson?
Do we have a quorum now?
Yes, we do.
Let me apologize. I was on my way and an issue arose in my constituency that I had to stop at. So that's why I'm late, all right?
So you see, from time to time, things will arise, but at least give us a call so we know that, boy, you were on your way and you had to stop. But apology accepted. And for your information, Member Robinson, this morning meeting is a meeting that will only address our CDF assistance. Just for the assistance, but no other projects.
So let me clarify, Member Robinson. There is always the long-standing issue of why there isn't a rollover when it comes to April. But to be prudent and so that these administrative assistants are not disenfranchised by not having a rollover system, we normally call an early meeting in May to ensure that their projects are approved and they can be paid at the end of May for both April and May.
I didn't know what the agenda was, but that was one of the items I had planned to raise, right? But because my assistant had brought his project document in from March, and I had done all the paperwork, and I said, given that we're doing it early, I would anticipate that for the April pay cycle, but then yesterday he informed me he hadn't been paid. So that actually, without knowing that, I was planning to raise it, because the burden falls on us.
Right.
And as you know, they're not well paid, and to miss a 1 month pay cycle is onerous for many of them. So I'm glad that's what we're dealing with, because that's what I had planned to raise, actually.
Well, it is being dealt with today. Go ahead, Chair.
So let me, before going forward, apologies for the chairman and also Member Vaz, Anne-Marie Vaz, as they are not here because of some matters that arose just the same. So, Member of Parliament Carl Samuda, St. Andrew North Central, Human and Social Development, the St. Andrew Central Administrative Project 2024-2025, budgeted sum $1.5 million, implementing agency SDC. Go ahead, madam. Sorry.
The man. I know, I'm wondering if there will be no coffee break. And if we are getting punishment because it is late. And we don't say any.
I would take a coffee just now. Member of Parliament, Dr. Michelle Charles, Constituency, St. Thomas Eastern, Human and Social Development, St. Thomas Eastern Administrative Assistant Project, budgeted sum $1.5 million, implementing agency SDC office. Commission, sorry. Member of Parliament Heroy Clark, St. James Central. Human and Social Development, St. James Central Administrative Assistant 2024-25. Budgeted sum $1.5 million, Social Development Commission. Member of Parliament, Mr. Mark Goulding, Constituency, St. Andrew Southern. St. Andrew Southern Administrative Assistance Funding, 2024-2025, Human and Social Development, budget $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Member of Parliament, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett, St. James East Central, Human and Social Development, St. James East Central Administrative Assistant Funding, 2024-2025, $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Member of Parliament, Mr. Dave Brown, Constituency Hanover Eastern, Project Type Human and Social Development. Name of Project Hanover Eastern Administrative Assistant. Budget $1.5 million Jamaican dollars. Implementing agency SDC. Member of Parliament, Mr. Mika Davis, Hanover Western, Human and Social Development. Hanover Western Administrative Assistant, $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC, implementing agency. Member of Parliament, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke, St. Andrews South Western, Human and Social Development, St. Andrews South Western Administrative Assistance Funding 2024-2025, $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, Social Development Commission. Member of Parliament, Mr. Julian Robinson, Human and Social Development, St. Andrews South Eastern Administrative Assistant 2024-2025, $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Mr. Philip Henriquez, Clarendon North Western, Human and Social Development, Clarendon North Administrative Assistance 2024-2025, $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Mr. Luthan Cousins, Clarendon South Western Human and Social Development, Clarendon South Western Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Mr. Fitz Jackson, St. Catherine Southern Human and Social Development, St. Catherine Southern Administrative Assistant, 2024, 2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Dr. Peter Phillips, St. Andrew East Central Human and Social Development, St. Andrew East Central Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Honorable Pernell Charles Jr., Clarendon South Eastern Human and Social Development, Clarendon South Eastern Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Miss Rhoda Moy Crawford, Manchester Central Human and Social Development, Manchester Central Administrative Assistant Funding, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Mr. Dwight Sibbles, Clarendon Northern Human and Social Development, Clarendon Northern Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Mr. Philip Paulwell, Kingston East and Port Royal Human and Social Development, Kingston East and Port Royal Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million SDC. Mr. Robert Miller, St. Catherine South Eastern Human and Social Development, St. Catherine Southeastern Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million, Social Development Commission. Miss Tova Hamilton, Trelawney Northern. Trelawney Northern Administrative Assistant Funding, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Honorable Darrell Vaz, Portland Western Human and Social Development, Portland Western Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Honorable Orlando Terrelong, St. Catherine East Central Human and Social Development, St. Catherine East Central Administrative Assistant, 2024-25, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Honorable Marsha Smith, St. Andrew North Eastern Human and Social Development, St. Anne Northeastern Administrative Assistant Funding, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Dr. the Honorable Christopher Tufton, St. Catherine West Central Human and Social Development, St. Catherine West Central Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million SDC. Mr. Daniel Lawrence, Westmoreland Eastern. Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Eastern Administrative Assistant Funding, 2024-25, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Miss Carencia Morrison, St. Catherine North Eastern, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine North Eastern Administrative Assistance, 24-25, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Honorable Robert Morgan, Clarendon North Central, Human and Social Development, Clarendon North Central Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. The Honorable Olivia Grange, St. Catherine Central Administrative Assistant, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, St. Andrew Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Northwestern Administrative Funding, 2024-2025, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. Honorable Favor Williams, St. Andrew Eastern Project Physical Infrastructure. St. Andrew Eastern Administrative Funding, 2024-2025, 1.5 million. Madam, the project type, physical infrastructure, can, oh. No, we never finish reading. Miss Lisa Hanna, St. Anne Southeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Anne Southeastern Administrative Assistant Funding, 24-25, 1.5 million Jamaican dollars, SDC. So just for clarity, the Honorable Favor William St. Andrew Eastern, the project type is not physical infrastructure, but rather human and social development. Name of project, St. Andrew Eastern Administrative Funding, 2024-2025. Budgeted amount, 1.5 million. Implementing agencies, SDC. Any other business? A date for the next meeting, madam? The 7th. Members? Members? Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if the CDF director could inform us whether the 3 million allocation that the Prime Minister spoke about for tertiary education, whether those funds are available. We're already getting requests from tertiary students for the August-September term.
Prudent Member Robinson, go ahead and prepare your project documents. with that intention in mind, so that once the funding is received, we are not waiting on a project document because the approvals would have gone through. It's just to be funded. And I do expect the Ministry of Finance to send that in short order because we have a working relationship with them. If something is outstanding or there needs to be something from the Ministry of Finance, it is only a phone call once it was announced in the House.
Go ahead.
Just a follow-up with Member Robinson in terms of, will it be a separate program that is need to be done, or it is going to be included in our regular educational funds that we will be putting together? Should we put it separate?
It is separate.
It is separate.
It is
So
separate.
you have
We
to
have to treat
so
it
it is
separate.
two different.
Because from your budgetary allocation of 20 million that we would have received, you know it's mandatory that 5 million comes out for education. This $3 million is to support your normal education program. Why? It is always a point that is belabored either at the committee level and outside that, you know, there needs to be more money for education, or the CDF needs to be increased to facilitate that. So I gather because the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance heard the talks, this 3 million came as a supporting allocation to your regular education program.
Well, just a quick follow-up, because last year I remember that we got the same 3 million, but we did not put a separate program. It was sent to SEC and was added to our educational program.
That was done out of prudence and time to be efficient.
Okay.
Because we'd have to call a committee meeting for approval. And remember, there are internal processes at the CDF. And if I should start that, you don't get that $3 million as stated. When it was announced, we were in a critical period, and we used it as an executive order issued by the House for us to go ahead and disperse and make the necessary arrangements. Notwithstanding, we did have to write the agencies and put in parameters in place to state that this money or these funds can only be used for the following purposes. Okay. Now that you would have gotten advance notice, I'm saying and signaling to all members of Parliament by way of media or in the room here today that we need to put a project document in place separate for the tertiary funding.
Okay.
It is based on your need, Member Robinson. So if you need it now, I would say put it in now.
But remember, members. Go ahead, member.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, just to indicate that certainly on behalf of the committee members who sit here at CDF committee meeting, and certainly on behalf of every single member of Parliament and every single tertiary student in Jamaica, a big thank you to the Prime Minister and the government for this project. The extra $3 million, will go a very far way in the development of our human capital. So, for example, in East Central St. Catherine, it means 30 additional, because we usually devise $7 million out of the regular CDF portion for our educational budget. We now have an additional $3 million to target additional tertiary students. So we will have 30 tertiary students, each receiving $100,000 towards their tertiary tuitions. So I want to say on behalf of every single member of Parliament, thank you to the Prime Minister and the government of Jamaica. It shows the government's continued commitment in the investment of our human capital. It shows the government's continued dedication and commitment to educating Jamaica. And education is the best. Yes, the committee members can say thanks for our program. We advocate, and no, the truth is, when the government has been working, and when the government does extra work, we have to give the extra thanks to the government, because we, the members of the CDF, I recall in 2016 when the CDF was raised to $20 million. And members from the opposition and members from the government side, they have all been saying, can we get it to 40 million? Can we get it to 30 million? This year, the government has now put an extra $3 million onto it, making it $23 million, and we have to give thanks. It shows also that when the government enacts responsible fiscal policies, when the government takes care of the economy, when we lower the debt to GDP ratio from 144% to 76%, it means that we have a surplus, and it is that surplus that we're using to demonstrate how much we care about the education of our children. So I want to say thank you to the government for this wonderful additional program. And I think 30 more university students from my constituency in Portmore will certainly benefit from getting their tertiary degrees. So a big thank you to the government showing that it cares.
And I will say that Madam Member Daly wanted to say thank you just the same, because I see a broad smile on both faces. So I know you speak on behalf of.
No, but Chairman, they're serious. He's saying that he is given a certain amount. He has to be, I hope he said his constituency, and that is not an overall indication of what members of parliament ought to give, because it is going to be important.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to know he announced his own inside here to say that this is what he's going to give.
And I wanted to say that the extra $3 million is not for primary or secondary, but really for tertiary. And so you can set aside that $3 million for the tertiary part of your program. But remember, you are asked to make up your budget for $5 million, not less than $5 million for your educational program. But you still can take something from anywhere else to top up that $5 million, plus the additional specific amount of $3 million that the Prime Minister is awarding to us to go towards your tertiary program. So once again, thanks members for coming out. We thank the technocrats from CDF who are here. And we are very appreciative of the fact that you continue to do a dubious job. And no, it is a tedious job. It is a tedious job. No, it's a tedious job. And we know that you continue to have the country at heart and its projects that we implement here. You're most welcome. At this point, this meeting now stands adjourned. And remember, the next meeting date is the 7th of May, 2024 at 12 noon. Next week, Tuesday. At that time, we are asking all 63 members of parliament to make sure that your educational program and welfare is the ones that are going to take precedence. And you understand the reason for the educational ones to be here. You can if you have. Right. All right. Moved by member Frank Witter, seconded by moved by member Terlang, seconded by member Robinson. No, Terlang, I change it. Yeah.